Hey folks, Ted from Immersion here. Not the typical kind of video that I wanted to do, but I've seen comments on it, and honestly, we all know that the purpose of a content creator, and me specifically, maybe not everybody, but I want to make things that you all enjoy. And people have commented on, I changed up the camera, the quality is way better, but some people don't like the colors. So I wanted to start off by saying what you're seeing right now is no extra lighting, no extra filtering, just what this new camera does out of the box with everything set to automatic. So this is what it looks like. It's kind of sterile, it's kind of washed out. This is what it looks like. So I was trying to do things, so you can see things are a little bit brighter, there's no extra lighting. It is also during the day, although it's a little gray sky outside, so I don't know if the sunlight's providing extra, assistance there. So, as we like to try to do, we try to change things up and make them fit a little bit better. So this is how it looks. So this is auto exposure, auto white balance, all that kind of stuff. So typically, what I would do on a normal day is I would turn the auto white balance off, which will immediately send us to a sort of more orange look, right? So if I were to take the white balance, this is as low as it can possibly go. And obviously this is as high as it can possibly go. It makes everything very orange. Now normally, they'll say to start around here if you're switching things to automatic. I also tend to wear a lot of reds and oranges too, so if things are going to white balance, it kind of throws it off. So if we just drop the white balance all the way to as low as it'll go, this is what we have, okay? Now, I usually like to lower the exposure a little bit, so if I were to turn off the exposure, and I have this set as low as it can possibly go, shutter speed, 1/125, and the ISO is at 100. Again, camera folks, you'll know what I'm talking about. So we're kind of dark now. So what I could do is I bought another light. I can come over here and I'll turn on that light right here, and that'll brighten it up a little bit. Okay, so now we're a little bit brighter. Maybe that's too bright, and obviously this is set at the warmest temperature. I could go the other way and it gets us a very, again, sterile light. So I'm keeping it warm, and I could turn down brightness on that to say maybe 20%. This doesn't look too bad, right? This is everything factory. Now, when I made a video like this in the past, using these settings, the first video I made using this, everybody told me it looked too gray and too kind of washed out. Now, maybe you'll tell me you think that this is good. So we'll call this setting 1, right? How about that? Setting 1 is a little bit of external lighting. It is everything switched to, I guess we could call setting 1 or setting 0, which was no external lights and everything on automatic. I do think that looks a little washed out and sterile. This is things are set to off of automatic to manual mode, and they are exactly as they were with just a little bit of extra light, and that's it. Now we could go in, I'm going to save the settings that we have right now, and I could go in and I could play around with the contrast, right? We can go all the way down, and we'll get kind of this funky thing. So this is around 50%. If we go up, you'll see the darks get a little bit darker, and then we can obviously mess with the saturation, and we could go, obviously, black and white, or we could go all the way up. So this was sitting roughly at 50%. You could turn it up a little bit, and then now you can see things are starting to get a little more orange as we move that around. The best example I can say is you guys know what a crabby looks like, right? A crabby's orange on top and sort of like a kind of whitish tan on the bottom. So if we start going up, you'll see that the crabby gets much more yellow. Also, the shield is like a gold, not like a yellow gold, not a full yellow gold. So we could turn that up. And maybe you like this. Maybe we call this setting 2, right? This is all I did was turn up the saturation. I can see it's causing some of the LED lights in the backgrounds to get a little bit of a flicker. So if we turn that back down to 50%, this is what we get. And it doesn't seem like it's causing flickering, but I do still feel like it's kind of maybe a little washed out in gray. I don't know, maybe the flicker is just there all the time and I just haven't noticed it till now. And unfortunately, it may just be an issue with the camera because the way lighting effects work. So what I was doing to try to get things to even out a little bit was messing around with LUTs to change colors and filter over the video. So what I had done was, this is the one that I liked the best wise. So as you can see, here's the gray, and here's me turning that on. So it kind of makes things look a little more, in my mind, what things actually look like in the room. Okay, kind of gray, a little, and people say this looks kind of bluish, but I don't know, I think it looks better. And this is at a 50% intensity. If I were to go to 100%, it look like this. Things get a little bit darker, and obviously if I were to go to 0, it would go back to where it was. So I put that right in the middle. Sorry, it's going to make my camera artifact a little bit. At 50, which I thought looked pretty good. Now I do see that this is, the shirt's a little bit more red. There's a little more definition in the reds and oranges here on this shirt. So I could see a slight difference there. So I could tank it down to, say, 25%, maybe. There we go. So that's not as bright. It's not as gray. Again, I'm not a camera or a video expert. I'm a guy. This is an Elgato face cam, to throw that out there for folks who are curious. So if you have great camera profile settings that you like to use, by all means. Also keep in mind that my walls are painted gray, and a gray wall will obviously, when things are trying to white balance and it's pulling in colors in the room, I have a gray wall with a white door, and I wear a lot of reds and oranges, so white balance is a little funky all the time. So again, we could turn up the white balance a little bit, make things a little, that's a pretty significant jump. So this is where we stand currently with no white balance on at all. We could go up a little bit and things start to get a little bit more orange. We also could turn up the brightness. Again, some of that, if people think we could turn off that LUT there if we wanted to. Doesn't really make anything brighter, so we could artificially increase the brightness or just open up the ISO, make things a little bit brighter, but we obviously don't want to go too much because then you get washed out completely. So these are the struggles of a content creator who's not a camera expert, right? So I wanted to just give the Elgato face cam a try because it was new, and yeah, my eventual plan is to switch over to an SLR. I have a cam link and a bunch of stuff as well, so I can run an SLR into my system, no problem. But, you know, SLR cameras are expensive, right? I mean, everybody knows that. And it's, you know, you have to get the right one that's compatible with the software and the program. So I've been playing around looking at different ones, trying to find a used one on eBay and stuff like that. But even still, regardless of the camera that I use, whether it be this camera, and, you know, people were saying they enjoyed my old camera, which was just a Logitech Brio, but I had done a ton of work on the settings behind the scenes to even things out. But, you know, if I were to use an SLR camera, it would be the same thing. I'd still be working on these settings to try to get the best look. But I don't know. I don't know what settings you like. You guys can go ahead and give me timestamps in this video and let me know. Because, yeah, I want to make content that people enjoy. And considering my channel is a very conversational channel, you do see me a lot. So if one thing or another you like the way, you know, like the way the camera looks, you think it looks too gray, you think it looks too blue, too orange, too white, whatever the case may be, I want to try to get the best option. Now, I know I will never be able to please everyone. That is a thing that will never ever happen. There's also the concept of change, right? If you're used to seeing me using one camera for a long time, I change to a new camera, the change, regardless, will cause people to be like, oh, what's going on? Something's different. And some people are big to embrace change. Other people are not. But I can still understand, and I've been struggling with this color profile and how to play around with this. And there are thousands of LUTs on the market where we could change things to all different kinds of settings. So, like I said, I really just want to find something that makes it, again, we turn this off. I've got all sorts of different ones that we could turn on, different settings to try different things and play around with intensities. And here's, you know, some brightness. So either way, it really comes down to what we all think looks the best, and then making sure I lock in and save those settings so that they look good whenever I try to find the official color of this, you know, of this stream, as it were. Like I said, I could turn up I have this, you know, a light right over here that I can, if I wanted to make things brighter, we could just turn up the intensity of that light. But obviously, if we were to go to maximum brightness, this is almost near blinding for me. And it obviously just makes my face an entire just white spot. So we cut that down from 100 to 50. It does obviously lighten up my face, but it is a little harsh for me to look at. But maybe you like this better. Does illuminate my face a little more. Also shows that my dark circles under my eyes aren't that bad. But yeah, we can cut it down. I had it around like 30%, which is right around here. And it's to the point where I'm not getting any kind of like skin, like bright spots on my skin. We could even go down a little bit further, down to like 25%. Something like that. It's, you know, I still am illuminated. But, you know, maybe that's all it is. Maybe I just got to turn up the brightness to 30%. And then now it's a little bit brighter. You can see my face a little more. Maybe that fixes everything for you. Like I said, not the intended video for today, and I will likely have something more interesting in Dungeons and Dragons related coming out to you later. But, you know, I'm a content creator. I want to please my viewers. So you guys let me know what you think. If you have some great recommendation for color profiles, or have a line on a decent, you know, SLR camera out there that I can find, that I can use with a cam link and buy a dummy battery and hook up so that I can have, you know, a significantly larger sensor to have a better camera, sure. Well, hell, while we're at it, let's talk audio. I changed up my mic. I moved the mic a little bit closer. I'm maybe, I don't know, a foot away from the mic, something like that. How's the audio sound? I haven't played around too much with like EQ on it. I do have some on there, but you let me know. Do you like the way it sounds? Some people in the past have told me there was like a little, at a certain, like, more audio related people told me there was an issue with a certain frequency that they didn't like, so I tried to cut that with, you know, with post-processing for audio. So again, whatever I can do to help you enjoy the content more, whether it be the sound, whether it be the video, let me know. I want to improve, and I want to make things better for everyone. So please, in all sincerity, leave me your comments. Like I said, if there was this specific setup in this time frame that you liked, timestamp it in the video. And like I said, I can't please everyone, but if I can get the majority of you to be happy and the rest of you to just kind of deal with how that's going to be, great. So let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you in whatever video I make later on today.